Everyone says Panama is cheaper than the US, but how much cheaper? Today, I'm giving you real numbers side by side so you can see for yourself if moving to Panama will save you money. If you're looking for ways to keep more money in your pocket, then this episode is for you. Welcome to the Panama Podcast, from dreaming to doing. I'm your host, Melissa Darnay. If you want insider tips on living, investing, and having a blast in Panama, go to choosepanama.com and snag your free copy of Panama Uncorked. Housing and carrying costs. In Florida, the property tax on a $300,000 home averages from $3,000 to $4,500 per year. In Texas, it could be double that. In Panama, that same $300,000 property could still be under tax exoneration, meaning you pay zero. Even without an exemption, it's about 0.5%. That's roughly $1,500 a year, less than half of Florida. Now let's talk insurance. In Miami, fire and structure insurance on a $300,000 condo could easily be $3,000 to $5,000 a year. In Panama, the same policy averages $300 per year. That's a savings of thousands of dollars before you even turn on the lights. For carrying costs, which includes property taxes, HOA, and insurance, most people will save at least 50% when they move to Panama. However, if you live in an area with higher taxes or soaring insurance costs, you could save 80 to 90% of what you're paying right now. Utilities. In the U.S., the average electric bill for a 1,500 square foot home with central air runs about $180 to $250 a month. In Panama, the same size condo with 2 split AC units averages just $60 to $90 per month. Back in Dallas, when temps hit triple digits for weeks on end, my electricity bill often hit $700 to $800 per month, plus a few hundred more for gas. Now, I'll admit I'm like a tropical flower with a very narrow comfort zone. I don't like it hot or too cold. So yes, I ran the AC a lot. But in Panama, even with my delicate flower habits, my entire utility bill rarely tops $200 a month. That's thanks to Panama's milder climate and efficient split AC units. The extra $800 I save? I'd rather spend it on things I love than just keeping cool. In the US, internet and cable often cost $120 to $150 a month. Here I get 1 gigabyte fiber optic internet plus cable for about $80 a month. Water in the States can run $40 to $70 a month. In Panama, it's usually included in HOA fees, or less than $10 if billed separately. And cell phones? In the US, plans are $60 to $100 or more. In Panama, I pay under $30 a month for unlimited data with a local carrier. That's at least a 50% savings. Transportation. When we talk about transportation costs, we're really looking at 2 big buckets: insurance and what it takes to keep your car on the road, gas and maintenance. For insurance, let's use a real example: a 2-year-old Toyota RAV4. In the US, full coverage runs about $1,200 to $1,400 per year for a driver with a clean record. In states like Texas, California, or Florida, the average can climb to over $2,000 per year. And in New York, that same RAV4 could cost nearly $4,000 a year to insure. In Panama, you'll usually pay just $500 to $600 per year. Now let's move from insurance to what it costs to keep the tank full and the car running. Gasoline prices in Panama are about the same as in the US, but here's the real savings: labor. An oil change that's about $90 in the States runs just $25 in Panama. A brake job that might set you back $600 in the US roughly $200 here. That's where you feel the real difference. Food and groceries. When it comes to food and groceries, the story is a little more mixed. Local produce and fresh foods are far cheaper than in the US, but imported brands can cost more. How much you spend really depends on whether you shop like a local or stick with familiar US labels. A dozen eggs in the US averages $3.80. In Panama, they're just $2. A loaf of sandwich bread, $3.50 in the US, and only about $2 in Panama. But watch the imports. A box of Cheerios costs $3.80 in the US, but around double that in Panama. A jar of Skippy peanut butter, $3.50 in the US, and almost $7 here. If you shop local produce, you'll save big. A pound of bananas, 60 cents in Panama, compared to about $1 in the US. A large papaya, $1.50 here, but closer to $5 back home. Dining out. Eating out is another area where Panama can stretch your dollar. Whether you're grabbing a quick bite at a fonda or enjoying a nice dinner, you'll find prices noticeably lower than in the US. In the States, a mid-range restaurant averages $22 to $28 per entree. In Panama, the same quality meal is only $10 to $15. A casual lunch special in the US might run $12 to $15. In Panama, a fonda meal is $5 to $7. And a glass of wine? $12 to $14 in the US compared to just $5 to $7 here. On top of that, tipping is different. In the US, you're expected to leave 18 to 25%, which adds a big chunk to the bill. In Panama, tipping is typically 10%. That means dining out not only costs less per meal, it also saves you on the extras. Healthcare. This is the jaw dropper. In the US, the average monthly premium for a 60-year-old couple on private insurance is $1,600 to $2,000 per month. In Panama, a similar private plan costs between $250 to $400 for both. A specialist visit in the US, $250 to $400 out of pocket. In Panama, it's just $60 to $80. An emergency room visit in the US can hit $2,000 to $4,000 without insurance. In Panama, it can be as low as $150 to $250, depending on the hospital. That's why so many retirees say Panama's healthcare system alone pays for their move. Before we keep going, let me pause for a quick reality check. If you've already been surprised by how much cheaper life can be in Panama, just wait. You haven't heard the best parts yet. And while you're here, can I ask you a small favor? More than 70% of people who watch my videos aren't yet subscribed. If you've gotten even one useful tip today, please hit that subscribe button. It's free for you, but it helps me keep bringing you insider comparisons like these every single week. All right, now let's get back to saving money in Panama. Lifestyle and entertainment. A U.S. movie ticket averages $14 to $18. In Panama, it's just $5 to $9. Monthly gym membership in the U.S., $80 to $100. In Panama, most newer buildings include a gym at no extra cost. And let's not forget the lifestyle perks. Beaches, mountain hikes, waterfalls, all free. In the US, you might pay $25 just to park at the beach. In Panama, your biggest expense is sunscreen. So is Panama really cheaper? The answer is yes, especially when it comes to housing, healthcare, utilities, and everyday living costs. You'll still pay more for some imported goods, but overall, the savings can be life-changing. And if you're serious about saving money and owning real estate in Panama, I'd love to help. Join my VIP program at choosepanama.com/VIP to get your insider access to properties, tips, and opportunities you won't find anywhere else. Until next time, remember, living well doesn't have to cost a fortune when you're living in Panama. See you in Panama.